So upon returning from the Great Escapade, I felt kind of relieved to be home, especially after a journey where I'm put in very challenging new environments.
Oh, I hit it!
Being able to step out on this journey gave me a wider perspective.
Doing this has taught me that life can really be a great escapade if you're only willing and open to look for new experiences and put yourself outside your comfort zone.
So I thought, why not tap on some of the lessons I've learned on my previous journeys and find new experiences right where I'm at? Because life can be a great escapade, even if you're at home.
Give me your fierce look.
Animal.
Nice, yes.
And since eating is a universal joy, I'll serve up meals inspired by each escapade. It's really impressed upon me at the Millennium Elephant Foundation how important it is to look after the wildlife and also the consequences of our own impact upon the environment. So that's kind of compelled me to come back home to Singapore and see how we're handling our own wildlife. So I'm spending the next 3 days as a volunteer at Acres, a wildlife protection organization.
Hello, hi Anthony. Good to meet you.
Hi.
Morning. Hi.
So I'm hoping that these few days I'm going to spend with you, you can teach me a bit about what you do here.
Maybe we can start off by showing you around the place and maybe you can learn more about what we actually do here.
Okay, sure. Yeah, shall we
Sounds
go?
good. Yes.
This morning I get to Acres, I meet Kalai and Ambu. And Kalai brings me in to see the non-native enclosure. Specifically, we're looking at a bunch of different tortoises that they've rescued, some of them abandoned on the roadside.
So Pina was actually rescued wandering around the roadside at Bukit Batok. They are originally native to South America, so they can be found in the Amazon and all that.
Some of them were just too sick to be looked after by their owners, but because they're illegal, they get turned into the animal rescue so that the owners don't get penalized.
And when they let them go, they just let it go into a forest, hoping to survive. But these animals have become so used to people that they're not able to cope, and then they start coming out.
So they're looking for people to look after them.
Could have been, or they're just like, hey, why am I alone here? And trying to desperately find
Familiar environments. Okay. But it's strange to think that people pay so much money and contribute so much to the illegal trade of these animals and then just abandon them. It's sad because to think that these animals, once they're in that situation, they may never be able to go back to nature, into the wild, and they're in captivity for the rest of their lives, even though they're, in safer, better hands here.
So this is Spider-Man. They're not native. However, this species, they're becoming invasive in many countries where they start breeding. In a lot of other countries, they're culling them as well. That is why, we're trying to... Education is very important. Tell people, don't buy illegal wildlife. That will help every other problem out there. So earlier, I showed you some of our non-native friends, the tortoises. So now I'm going to show you our work with native wildlife. These two are two juvenile plantain squirrels that we hand-raised.
So what do you mean by hand-raised?
Hand-raised means, from scratch. We need to bottle feed them with milk.
So someone actually holds them with a little milk bottle?
Yeah, then we wean them off the milk. So right now they're at the final stage. Once they put on a bit of weight, we can release them back into the wild.
Okay.
Yeah. All you're going to do is cut some substrates, branches for Soraya, the bonnet macaque.
Okay. With going into the forest to forage for some branches and some food and decoration for Soraya, the monkey. Gonna spruce up her cage a little bit.
Why do I smell wild boar?
Huh?
Nothing.
Did you say you smell wild boar? First thing Kalai says is that why does he smell wild boar? Which was kind of alarming. It's safe here, right? There's no
There are lots of snakes here. Yeah. Most likely will be like a cobra.
What?
Yeah. But not to worry. This is yam. It grows out of control. The leaves are actually toxic.
It was interesting the way he was able to identify what plants were actually safe for the monkey to have in her enclosure. Can I cut this guy?
Yeah, you can.
This will be for like decoration for them,
Yeah,
or
just
would
for
they?
decoration,
Okay.
just to green up the place.
All right. Nature's IKEA.
All right. Okay, awesome.
After exposing myself to potential snake and wild boar threats, I hope Soraya likes what we have planned for her.
Setting up the enclosure is a new experience for me. You know, it's kind of like moving furniture around a bit, except you've got a wild animal in the cage with you. And Soraya straight away could smell the parcels of food, and she zooms in on them to investigate and unwrap them and figure out what's inside to get to her treat. One interesting commonality I found between my experience at the Millennium Elephant Foundation and at Acres is the focus on making the environment for each animal as close to its natural habitat as possible, because that's important to the animal's behavior and its ability to adapt and survive in the wild.
So Anthony, let me show you my garden. We grow hibiscus plants and mulberry plants here on the premises for the tortoises. They love the flowers because it's brightly colored, and colors means minerals.
The level of care for the animals is evident in the seemingly minute details.
The leaves, right, they have a perfect calcium-phosphorus ratio and a proper fiber content that is good for the tortoises.
Instead of just feeding the animals, the focus is on providing good quality, nutritious food.
This is like your little organic farm.
Yes, it's like a little organic farm. We grow a lot of plants that is food for the animals all over the enclosures, which they can graze on their own, but also we can harvest and give it to them.
So with the organic farm that Ambu showed me, that was really cool to see how holistic the whole system is. A lot of the plants that they use are grown to feed the tortoises and other animals. Not only that, but a lot of them are grown from the same cuttings. So she's found a sustainable way to renew them and have more and more harvests for the future.
It may seem like animals are the focus here at Acres, but a huge part of the job actually involves working with humans.
So as a volunteer, we need you to be aware of what Acres does and how individuals can help animals directly.
So Anbu gives me a task to lead a guided tour in a few days. And she's bringing me through a training session on all the points I have to hit.
Many people wonder what is Acres about. So the basic messaging is that we speak up for the animals. And many a times, people also do not know that we have a dedicated education team, because by the end of the day, we will never stop rescuing if we are not raising awareness.
I'm just worried about making sure that I can answer all the questions properly. And also there are different ways to talk to people when you're dealing with young children, and then the way you relate it to full-grown adults.
At the end, just remember to tell them that if you really like wild animals, please protect them in the wild.
Next, we are gonna just check on the cobra.
And my experience with wildlife is about to get real.
Oh yeah, he's a big fella.
Oh geez, okay, he does not look happy.
I'm gonna go on an animal rescue, my first animal rescue. I'm not sure what that means exactly, because having to deal with a wild boar that's gone crazy, or, you know, a huge snake, something that could kill me or maim me, that's kind of worrying. But as a volunteer at Acres, I can't let my fear stand in the way of my mission and the animals I've been tasked to protect.
Hello, Acres? Yes. Blue coral snake. Are you sure it's a blue coral snake? Okay. We will come and take care of this, all right? Can you please keep an eye on the snake?
So first rescue case that we attend to is a black cobra that's been already captured. We don't know how big the snake is or even whether it really is a cobra because they put it into a sack.
So Anthony, yeah, so we have two snakes here that they have contained. So one is sort of like a tree snake, a garden snake. It's called a bronzeback. There's a few different species, so this is a painted bronzeback.
This is not how. Ah. I'm putting the goggles on.
He's a bit wet, I think because the bottle was wet. But you can see it's a very beautiful snake. Yeah, it's a very common snake in Singapore. And you also notice that he's flattening his body towards the head. A lot of snakes do that, kind of like to mimic a cobra. He's feeling threatened by my left hand, so he's continually tracking it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Don't look at my white gloves.
So he's basically telling me, you know, hey, stay away from me. I will try to hurt you and so on and so forth.
I would listen
But
to
from
him.
where I'm holding him, he won't be able to strike at my face, so it's not an issue.
Could he bite your hand?
He could, yeah.
So what are we going to do with him now?
Just took him out to have a quick check, and then we're going to transfer him to a bottle. So maybe if you can take this protein shake bottle and just tilt it 45 degrees. Okay. So generally, if the bottle is opaque and it's dark, they will go in, but not all the time. But he might jump out also.
He might jump out.
Like that.
Holy crap!
Okay.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah. So we carry these bottles that are opaque, so it gives the animals more privacy and they'll be less stressed.
What about me?
Anthony is sweating.
What about me?
Come on, it's a small snake.
I wasn't expecting this level of aggression from this little snake that's supposed to be very common and very harmless according to Kalai. This was the harmless snake.
All snakes are harmless, as long as you don't disturb them. Next, we are gonna just check on the cobra and transfer it into our barrel. He's a big fella. You wanna take a look?
Oh, geez. Okay, he does not look happy.
So this is an adult spitting cobra. Yeah, so he's actually spitting here.
Okay, so what are you gonna do now?
I just opened it up to make sure that he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything, he looks okay. They're just like humans. I mean, they have different characters. Some are quiet, some are like gonna fight you all the way because they don't know we're trying to help him out. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. No, that's enough.
Oh, sorry.
Then
making sure.
you just cap it over and
Okay.
get the other latch.
Is that secure?
That's secure.
My impression of Kalai during the rescue is how much knowledge and ingrained respect he has for the animals and for wildlife. When we're on the rescue, it's always about the animals' welfare first and foremost, and making sure that you're respectful of the animals' nature and natural behavior.
Hello, Acres.
So a member of public, a resident, he found a stranded bat in his balcony. So sometimes when they get stranded in an urban area, they're not able to fly off on their own. They're fine, they just get stranded. So just need a bit of help.
This is adult or this is a baby?
Adult.
Adult.
You can see the fur already grow already, so it's an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this will carry some of the virus?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna go find a tree so that we can release the bat.
Come forward.
Okay.
Yeah. And just guide him. Yes.
There you go.
Slowly lower your right hand. Lower it. Some more. Remove.
There you go.
So you can see he will climb up. It's a nice camouflage as well.
Go on, Batman. Fly free.
So one of the most challenging parts about wildlife rescue is actually educating people and convincing them that sometimes the animals don't need to be rescued. They can be left alone. For cases like monkeys that are sighted in urban areas or even a tree snake that is on a tree, people tend to be fearful for various reasons. We try to address those concerns.
Hello, Acres. Hi. Okay, you're saying that you have an injured pigeon with you, right? Okay, can I understand what kind of injury? Does it just look sick to you or you can see some blood around? Hello, Acres. So this is the first time that you have seen the monkey, right? Hello, Acres.
So the wildlife rescue mission was surprising in regard to how much logistics and planning went into it, fielding all the calls. And this was just a slow day for them apparently. Usually it's twice as busy and then it has to drag on into the night shift. So they're really on like 24 hours a day. So are there any calls where you're like, just do not look forward to going out to?
A lot of times baby animals, they've been abandoned or stranded because then, we may need to take the animal in and rehab. Most situations, it's best that the animal's left with their respective parents. So those cases we don't look forward to. We always try to reunite these animals. But end of the day, when we come back from our shift, we try not to bring back any animals.
For animals that do come back to Acres, a trip to the doctor's office is first on the agenda.
Hi, Dr. V.
Hello.
What are we doing here?
So this is a pigeon that the rescue has brought in. When I examine the bird, I can feel that there's a fracture on its tibial tarsus right over here, so his leg is fractured. Because it's a closed fracture and he's very bright and alert, prognosis is good. We can treat it. We'll place a splint, and once he's fully recovered, we'll release the bird. Could you hold the splint while I...
Splint,
Yeah.
okay.
Just like that.
Okay, I'm not gonna hurt you.
He's okay. He's pretty calm. He's probably in shock and in pain, so that's why he's calm. But different species react differently. Some birds will scream and pierce your ears with it.
Oh, wow.
Some of them will be very flappy. Okay, his leg is good. Very nice. Okay, so here are where all the injured birds are housed. So this one came in with a severed toe, and he needed to be amputated. He's doing really well. He's got a little bandage and he's standing.
So will these guys be let back into the wild?
Yes, when they're a little older, we'll move them to the outdoor cage outside where we will test their agility, and they show that they are fully independent. We release them.
I think what's very noble about the work that they do at Acres is that it doesn't just stop at rescuing the animal from a drain it's fallen into or from the side of the road. It's really rehabilitating the animal, caring for it to the point where it can be released back into the wild, or they're able to house it somewhere.
To make up for my lack of experience with animals, I thought I'd add a little something special to my tour, in a way I know best.
So I'm preparing some food, little cups of vegetables that we can give to the tour group that I'm guiding, and these are going to be fed to the tortoises. What I'm going to do is make a base of all these vegetables, the agave, the hibiscus flowers, and the pumpkin or the apples, the fruit. And we're going to make like a kind of veggie patty for the animals to eat, which hopefully they will eat.
And now, it's time for some serious studying.
To prepare for my guided tour, I need to go look through a lot of the notes that I took down. It's going to be my first guided tour here. So I don't want to mess up because I know how important education is to what Acres does. Save the bunnies.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming over on a weekend. And today, the tour will be conducted by Anthony, our outreach volunteer.
So today's the last day of my stint here at Acres, and it's my first time conducting a tour. Luckily, Ambu is going to be around to guide me through and help me as well. Just wanted to tell you a bit about myself and why I am here at Acres as a volunteer. This is me in Sri Lanka. So I went to see this elephant orphanage called the Millennium Elephant Foundation. I met this elephant called, his name is Raja. He's not able to go back into the wild, but they try and create an environment that's as natural as possible. And that journey has brought me here to Acres to find out more about how we look after wildlife in Singapore as well. So I'm feeling I need to have my notes with me. I don't think I've managed to memorize all the statistics and the facts, so I needed to turn to Ambu a few times for help. But the kids especially seem pretty engaged. So you see a little rabbit over here? So this is what you want to look for when you go shopping with your mom. You can check whether there's a little bunny on it, and that means it wasn't tested on any animals. So these are all the nut tortoises. So they're all named after nuts. This is Peanut, and this is Walnut. You can see we have the names written there. So will you guys help me to feed them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh,
So here comes walnut. I was worried that the tortoises might not like the food, so the fact that they started nibbling a bit and were curious, that was a win for me. All right, guys, so let's leave the tortoises to finish their breakfast. This is the end of the tour, but thank you so much. I hope you guys learned a lot.
Let's go.
So overall, I think I did okay for a first timer, but could be better. I think there's always room for improvement. So having spent 3 days here with the Acres volunteers and the full-time staff here, I know how tough this job is and how passionate they are about their work and their belief in what they do and their love for wildlife. So I wanted to cook something for them as my own contribution to say thank you to them.
Hey, Anthony.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
I've cooked up some lunch for you guys. Are you hungry?
Yes, and it looks really good.
This is a plant-based meat substitute. So this is completely vegetarian.
Wow.
So let me come grab a plate, grab a bowl, and let me serve you.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
You're welcome. Go. You need this for all your animal rescues. So my impression of Acres now, after seeing all the different departments that they have to look after different areas of the animals' care. You got the vet clinic, you got the enclosures that they have to set up, the educational tours that they conduct and the community outreach, and then you have the wildlife rescue. It's really increased my respect and awareness of the scope of the problem that is man-made. You know, all this exists because of a problem that we have made by capturing illegal wildlife or taking away animals' habitats.
So we're gonna release this male pigneck, and I'll just pass the bird to you.
Okay.
And hold it with both hands,
Both
and when you're
hands.
ready to let him go and fly free, you can do that. Okay?
Got you. All right. 1, 2, 3. Fly free, little bird. Stay well. Don't want to see you back here again. Of course he would poo on me. This is his parting gift to me.